Today on the workbench, this is a Proto2000. It's a U30B locomotive. It's brand new. Well, I guess new old stock, you would say. I've still got haven't even put the couplers on it yet. It is DC. I'm going to put a decoder in it. Be a V5, Loksound V5. One of the 21 pins, and I'm going to use we'll put a decoder buddy in it. This is the V5 version of the decoder buddy. 12, it's got 12 outputs on it. And the others, go ahead and get into this thing, get it apart. Let's see, these Protos. Of course, this one doesn't have the couplers on it yet, but we still have to remove the packing piece here. Pull that out, pull that off. I am going to upgrade all of the lights on this. I may try something new on how I put the lights in. So this could be a longer video maybe. So we've got that. We've got a screw right here up front of the fuel tank. Small one. Actually there's, okay, then there's two back here in the back. Pull that out. Pull that one out. And then that should slip right off. No problem. So we'll set that off to the side. Get out a little jar here so I can put my screws in. That way I won't lose those. This thing is DCC ready. You can see that right there with the plug, but I am going to pull that. Let's see, let me pull this off, disconnect. Oh my. Man, those things are tough. Let me get out a pair of, well, what did I do with my, well, I was looking for a pair of pliers. We'll get these taken off. Not sure what speaker I'm going to put in this yet. Motor lights. There's that. Pull those back. Pull the board out. And I'll reuse at least one of those screws. This one has clear class lights on it, on the shell. You can see them right there on the corner of the cab. I may put some small LEDs in there. Set our old board off to the side. Let's just, for argument's sake, we've got our decoder buddy here. And I'm trying to pull all my wires out of the way. I'm just going to go ahead and strip this thing down. I know I'm going to put the LEDs in it. So we'll get that out of the way. That one out of the way. This one is see if I can push that out. There we go. Pull that rear one out that way. So now all we have left is our motor. And those pickups. Now I could set that right there like that, and I can use this one mounting hole up there. Then I'll probably take a piece of styrene, go down through to hold this side, because I can only get one screw in it no matter how I set this board. I can't drill another hole there. Didn't go up far enough that way. So I believe I'll mount that board just like that. Get a screw in it here. So there's the board mounted. I am going to go ahead and put in our motor mount. Actually, I won't have to take a piece of styrene to that. I can use a piece of double-sided tape, slide right underneath that. Actually, I don't think I like that. I will go with a piece of styrene. And that's that right there will work. I think that's a piece of 60 thousandths. I'll run that across that side. Pull this board back off. I'll mark that to the width that I need. And then we'll cut a piece of, or get my chopper out. I cleaned this workbench off the other day and I threw all of my scrap styrene away, which I knew I shouldn't have done. But you just accumulate so much of that stuff, or I do anyway. Let's see. I'm using my Decoder buddy as a template. That way I'll have the right size. There's that. There's that. So now I have a piece of styrene that I can set right there. I can put that right there. And I'll glue that on. That'll give the Decoder buddy something solid to sit on. I really wanted to get crazy, I could tap that, put a screw through it, and I don't see anything wrong with doing that. I'm going to take and screw this back down. Let's see. I believe that is a 172. I know I've got that, I just gotta find it. Okay, well, hang on, I'll be back. I want to get this drilled and tapped. Okay, now you can see there I've pulled the rear weight off of the locomotive, and I do have my hole drilled in it. I haven't tapped it yet, but I've got the hole drilled in that. I've got the hole drilled in my piece of styrene, and it is a 172 screw, so I used a number 53 drill bit to drill this hole, and a number 53 is 60 thousandths. So saying that, I'm going to go ahead. I've got the tap out here. I am going to put it in. Let's see. I'm going to try and put this in a pin vise and try to thread it that way. So I've got my tap in there. We're going to go slow. And what we'll end up doing is cutting a few threads. Once I get it started, then I'll back it out to break the chip. There, I can feel it getting tight, so I'm starting to cut. So we'll back it off just a touch. And that right there is what I was afraid of. I can never get these things in there quite tight enough by hand. And so now get that stuck. We'll loosen that up. And I'll see if I can get on it with a pair of pliers to pull that out. Okay, there, I've broken the chip. Got it out. I really like to buy the taps that have the flats on them. They work a lot better. Of course, holding that in a pin vise is not a good way to do that. Well, I can't say it's not a good way to do it, but it's not the best way to do it. I do have a small tap handle, but it won't go down to where it'll fit that size. See, this is the kind of tap I like to use that has the flats on it. I have better luck with those. So now I'm going to chuck this up in my little power screwdriver here, see if I can so it's not all the way through. Alright, I just wanted to kind of show you that, what I was doing. I'll be back. Okay, so with a little persistence and a pair of pliers, I made it through. So now we can go ahead and run my wires back up through. that one. And there's that one. And that had a screw in it to hold the back of it. So we'll get that back on. There's that. Put that in. We'll get this front screw in up here. Then we'll get this back one in. Let's see. Pull that one out again. Trying to get that lined up. May have to make that hole just a little bigger in that. There it is. Loosen this up just a touch. Okay, so I need to ream out a hole. I drilled it in the wrong place. There. No, I didn't. I just had it too tight. Couldn't move it. So there's that one. Get that straight. I'm going to put a longer screw in that. And I do have some longer screws. If I can get the right one out. And of course it's a flat screw, or slotted. Let me loosen this one back up. Well, so there's that. Tighten Getting my weight back down. Okay. We're all good. I don't think I'm hitting my pad there. Let me check to make sure. I was looking for clearance in between the screw head and this pad. I'll zoom down on that. So I'm looking for clearance between the screw head and that pad, and we're good there. We'll zoom back out. Our decoder is secure. We won't have to worry about that coming off or moving. Put that bag of screws away before I lose anything. Now, turn my soldering iron on. And we'll start the process of wiring. I haven't tried out this little tester. Oh, that's not it. It's the regular board. I haven't tried out this little tester, so I'm really looking forward to that. That'll plug right in there. Place of the board. So, first thing we'll do is we'll start to tin some wires. And I want to cut these down a little bit. Just so I don't have to fool with so much wire. So we'll cut about 1 inch off of each one of these. I'll go ahead and strip them. And I'm not stripping off nearly as much as what was stripped off. Same thing up here. Just going to leave myself a little bit there, so I'll have plenty when I go to put the speaker and everything in. The fewer things you have in the shell, the better off you are, I think. Now, I'm debating. I think I'll turn this board around. That way I can have these two motor leads up here closer. Yeah. Let's do that before we start our soldering process. work out better. Okay, that way we can run our motor wires over that way. So our bottom of the motor is positive. Get out the handy dandy instructions for bottom. Motor positive. Orange. So this is our positive lead. Should be. Before I fasten them permanently. We'll test them out. Just to make sure that I have the direction of travel right. Yeah, I'm not going to fool with that right now. I'm going to take and start attaching. Fluxing and tinning track leads. That cleaned off. And once again, our tinning process starts. So now we'll grab that up as close as we can. There's our front pickups. Turn this around. There's our rear pickups. Okay, so we have plenty of room there. I am going to hook up my DCC system here. That way I can try these motor leads out. Let's see now, my bottom. Well, I think I'll just go ahead and just kind of temporarily connect them, because I'm not going to be able to hold that. Not the way I want to. So and this is just a temporary connection. Make sure nothing's touching there. I think we're good. I may be touching a resistor. Now, what? Okay. Now, get out my decoder and put on here. So here's my decoder. And it goes like that. We'll leave the speaker wires on there for right now. So I'll put that in, and then we'll put on our decoder tester. So right there, that locomotive should move forward and backward at least. There won't be any lighting or sound, but yeah, I'll just put it on here and try it. Actually, it will have some lighting because the test board will have the lights on it. But I want to test for direction. That way I can secure the motor. Okay. I do have it right. So I'm going to pull it off. Let's see, I'll pull this tester off for right now. Oop. I'm going to pull my board back off so I can solder my wires on. Okay, Go ahead and pull these off. And we'll cut and strip each one of these. I can go ahead and put some flux on that. Tin my wires back up. Trying to get that up through the hole. Just like that. Sometimes I get one real easy and then the other one just doesn't want to cooperate. Flatten that back out a little bit. Actually, cut it off and then try again. So I'll never flatten that back out. This keeps my wires tucked up in. I know nothing else is going underneath that board. So this will save me room above the board. All right. We're all good there. I'm looking through it here. Yep. That is in fine shape. So now that all right, I'm going to take a little break here. When we come back, I'll have a different angle to look at this little tester here. Alright, I've come back after a break, and what I think I'm going to do is, if you can see that right there, I'm going to take these marker lights. I'm going to put marker lights in this. I've never done that. And I'm going to use this LED. This is a 402. Let's see, I'm trying to get something there. That would be, that pencil right there is 0.05 millimeter, or 0.5 millimeter. So that's basically the size of that LED. But what I'm going to try to do is these already have little, like little plastic in them. I'm going to see if I can push that through, and that's too big. So I need to find something that isn't quite as big. Let's see, I've got a small drill there. Well, I didn't push it through. What in the world happened to my, I think I may have broken my drill bit. Nope, just shoved it all the way. try it again. If worst comes to worst, I'll drill it out. But I should be able to push it through. And I can't. So let me get out an X-Acto knife. That is in there. I'll have to cut the back side of it. So I'm going to use a chisel blade, X-Acto. And I don't think you'll be able to see what I'm doing. But there, I've cut the back off. Now I should be able to push that right through. Well, I say that. There we go. Alright. Now, the way that I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do the back too, so you can see there are class lights there on the back. And they're up above, back in there where I can hardly get to them. Let me see if I can push them out. I'm going to have to take out this light, and I'll do them the same way. At least that one went easy. So now we'll go back through, and I can trim off. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. Let me zoom in here. See that? It'll be right there at the end of my chisel blade. There's that one. And then I've got one over here. And I should be able to just push should be able to push that right out. And of course not. I'm gonna zoom back out. If I don't wanted them to come out, but I never got them. Or I would have got them, I mean. No, I said that backward. If I didn't want them to come out, they'd probably fall out. There, I broke my drill bit. Pushed it in that time. Man. That thing is, both of those are in there. I need a smaller screwdriver. My goodness gracious. What is holding that? Shouldn't be able to. I don't think I can push it out from inside. Yep, I'm gonna fight this off camera. Okay, so I've got the front ones out there for the marker lights, and I've got the rear ones out with a little help from a drill bit there. I ended up drilling that out. Now what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take these 402 bulbs, and I have tested these. I'm going to run them in. I'll run them in like this. Let me get my other one that I've tested. So I'll put them in there, and I'm going to use some micro crystal clear to fill in the holes, and I'll just do these two here on. So I've got those stuck in there like that. I wonder. See if there's a good way I can hold this up in the air. So I've got that up in the air like that. Pull out the crystal clear, and I'll see if I can use one of these little micro brushes without the brush. And this does dry clear, so That will create the lens. Trying to get that around there so it will be straight when this one's going to be all right. There's that one. That one went sideways on me. So now to try and get this thing straightened out. Okay, I think that I got it. Nope, I didn't get it. So, let me turn this off. Alright, we're back here, and I've went ahead and made up some LEDs. So I've got them color coded here. The blue is the common, and the yellow is the forward, or yellow is the rear light. And I've got one, the common, and then the white for the front. And then I made this pink and blue one up. This is going to be my other front headlight that goes down in the bottom here. So I guess where we're at now, and I've installed the board there on the decoder buddy. So we're at the point now where I can take and start putting my lights in. And I may end up putting a piece of heat shrink over that tubing. Now come in, go in there. So we'll get these run through. And I kind of hate to take these off because sometimes I break the clips off of them. And I'm not sure what I am catching on right there. Well, don't have to worry about that falling off because it just pops off. back on. Sometimes it takes me a while to get my fingers moving. That'll work there. And let's see, on the Decoder Buddy, let's see, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the back two lights. I believe they will be, they're labeled AOR. So right here in this corner, this is the rear light, and this is the forward light. And then the blue, the positive, I can hook on any one of these terminals. Wait a minute, I said that wrong, didn't I? There's the reverse. Yeah, that's the reverse. This is my common terminals, so I can use any one of those. So let's see. I had a piece of tape. Well, I'll put that down later. Anyway, so I'm going to hook up this yellow over to this terminal. I'll leave that just a touch long. Don't want it too long. Then I can strip this wire with my fingernails. And then I'll take my common, cut it off, and then I want to get a little bit of flux. So there's that. Nope. Need to flux the ends of those and tin them. So there's that. We can make our connections. So there's our rear headlight. And I want to check that out here before I go any farther. Make sure I didn't get any okay, we've got good connections there. Now we'll run our forward light, and it'll sit right here. Okay, so we've got that. I can't run that under. We'll run that right over top. Of the board there, and I'll cut it a little long. That way we can get that tinned up, and then I'll cut this one. And strip that off. That off. Let's see. Go ahead and tin the ends of these. There's that. Now I'll go ahead and tin the board. We can go ahead and hook up these two wires. Are common in. forward. We'll get all of our wires tucked together after we get done. And then we've got our other wire here, or other headlight. That one I may have to put a piece of heat shrink on it so I won't get any bleed through. And the other ones didn't have any on them. So, I think I'll use A4 right there for this one. That one I don't think, yeah, I can cut it off some. We'll cut it off a little bit there. And then my common, I'm going to run it over. I'll put it on the other side. So let's go ahead and strip these. And I still haven't loaded the program into this yet. Into the decoder, that is. Of course, I haven't installed the speaker yet either. One step at a time. Okay, get that. And I'm going for, actually I'll come back into the corner for 8-2. Oh, and I want to put some flux over there. Just flux up a couple of those. Turn this around. There's our common. Okay. So we should have all of our, that's all of our lights in position. So I think I'm gonna test those out before I get too crazy. And then we've still got our cab to do where we've put our class lights in. I don't think they came out too awfully bad. So, but we'll check those in a minute. I'll be back here in a few minutes. All right, we're back, and I tested those, and all those work well. So now we are at the point. I've really got 3 things left to hook up: the rear class lights, the front class lights, and I got to put the speaker in. So I think right now I'm going to go ahead and do the class lights. Pull that out of the way. I've set these in that micro crystal clear, and I will leave these long. That way I'll have more room to pull the shell off. Of course, what I want to do now is strip these wires off, and I want to strip these off a little long. That way I'll have plenty of room. Okay, there's one. This stuff is hard to strip. There's 2. What I'm going to do is, I'm not going to braid them, but I'll twist them all together after I get them stripped off here. And this is a fine wire. I'm not sure what gauge this is. It's probably a 36. Really fine. So now let's see if we can get that all twisted together. So there's that one. There's that side. So now I just need to strip off these rear ones. And twist them together. And then we can solder them up. There's one. Two. Three. Nope. Missed it. And four. Come back here. So there's that pair. Okay. There, now we've got our lights wired up. Well, wired together. We'll put a little bit of flux right there. That way I can just dip my wire in it. There's that one. And that one. Okay, so now we are to the point of soldering this in, and I'm going to have to write down where I put these. So I think I'm just going to go for my back ones. I'll use like A7 right there in the corner. And then I can put that so on my common. So I've got A7. I'm writing this down for rear class lights, and then that A2 was was my bottom front. And then I'll use, I think that's A6. Yeah. A6 I'll use for my front class. So I've got all that written down. Put my pencil away. So red is the common. Oh, I need to take and put a little flux there. And then I'm going to use A6 for the front. Oh, getting ahead of myself again. There's A7. There's A6. I want to trim that off some, because that is too long. So there's that. Now we'll have to get the common out. And I'll trim it off. And when you know it, it came apart. Well, so there's that one. It's our rear. Now we can go and do the front. Cut that off a little bit. There's that one. I'll cut that one off for the front. All right. So now we've got all of our lights hooked up. I'm going to test that. Okay. So okay, so the front class lights are working. Now I've got to make sure that, and the rear class lights are working. Pull that off. So now we're down to our speaker. Alright, we're ready for the last piece here. Ready for our speaker. And this is a ESU, it's 11 by 15 millimeter. 50321 is the part number. So what I want to do, I'll secure this down with a piece of double-sided tape right in there. But before we put it down, I am going to clean off the surface with a little bit of alcohol. I use denatured alcohol. So there's that. Soak some of that up. Put the cap back on. And then we'll get a piece of double-sided tape. And I use the Gorilla tape. Get the end of it worked off. Pull those up some. try and center it in there. So there's our speaker. I'm going to tin up these two, the ends of the wire here, and then we can connect them to our speaker terminals. And yeah, what I ought to do, what I need to do, I'm going to take and cut these off just a little bit. That way. Okay. I'm going to cut off now. I can tin those ends. Okay, so we got that off. Now, this one, kind of weave it through . Before I solder that down, I'm going to cut that off just a little bit. Okay. There's one. Get it all weaved through here. Okay. So that's all of our, do I have that terrible glare there now? Anyway, trying to maneuver around lights and everything else here. So now I can go through and start putting our wires down. Move that out of the way. Okay, now I need to get a piece of tape. And put over that. Okay. All right. We almost have what we need. Okay. Get all of our wires tucked in. Nice and neat. We'll put a piece of tape across that. Piece of tape across the back here. I don't really need one across the back. But I'm going to put one there anyway. Okay. So there's our lights. Now I need to glue my number boards back in. Other than that, let me bring you back after I get done here. Alright, we've got everything put together. I've got the couplers on it. I've loaded the program into it. And so now I'm going to fire this thing up. We'll kind of go through some of the functions. So there's the horn. There's the bell. And then let me show you something here. This is kind of new. I need to motorize this thing. There's our headlight, and then let's see, for my, believe, okay, there's those, and then we'll, let's see. There's our class lights. And then we're hooked up there to our bottom set of lights flash. Might as well get that thing rolling. That way you can hear it kind of ramp up. Okay. Turn it around here to where you can see the rear. We'll turn our lights on. And our class lights. Let me stop that forward motion. And change direction. So you can see there's our rear headlight, and then our rear is, let's see what I got it on, F5 for our class lights on the rear. So that's where we're at. So I've got this one. This is complete. So that's that. In a nutshell. I've still got my class lights on and my lower headlights. that'll conclude this project. So the only thing I have left to do is put in the cab number on the address. Right now I've got it addressed as number 3, but otherwise we're done with that. So thanks for watching.